Welcome back to the Open Wheel Offline League, Season 5, Race 1, here for the Michigan 150. We're about to look at your starting grid and go through the field. 27 cars going to be taking the green today, as let's go through the field. Starting in the last row is going to be the 99 of Brendan Hubbard all by himself, but this is a car to look out for. He won at Auto Club, got the pole, just a little bit of a disappointing qualifying effort from that team. So then we move to row 13 on the outside, Miles Rowe and Dawa Tenzin. Dawa Tenzin doing his first full-time season, so is Team Canada Dry. As we move up to row 12, these are two guys to look at to move forward. Globler Lore, we know he's quick on the ovals, and Alessio Deletta had some good momentum at the end of the season, so we're going to have to see if it carries over to today. Then as we move to row 11, another car that you need to watch, David Malukas, fast on the ovals, just didn't have a good qualifying. He's going to be alongside the newly branded Barbershop Haircut Racing, used to be Skibbity Sigma, with rookie Nico Hulkenberg, now as a one-car team, so we're going to have to see what they can do, starting from row 11. As we move to row 10, we've got Nolan Siegel returning to the series, and then the second Team Canada dry car, Mahavir Raghunathan, starting in 19th, row 10 on the inside. As we move to row 9, Ryan Preece, this is another guy to look towards. Pretty quick on the ovals, almost had the championship, won last season, but three consecutive wrecks to end the season. Was not able to get it done. He's going to be starting deep in the field today, but expect him to move forward with Guy Gagne on his inside. As we move to row 8, Benjamin Peterson looked fast at Auto Club, and then Lawless Allen, rookie for Team Eggs, one of four rookies in the field, as we already mentioned, Nico Hulkenberg. And then row 7, two nearly identical cars, so might be a little confusing. Tinkle McStinkle and Devlin DeFrancesco both returned to the series after a long time out of the series. McStinkle hasn't been around since season 2. Devlin hasn't even done a full season. He did about half of season 1 for the Magenta Trees, but now he's back with Masters of Motors. As we move to row 6, it's the two team cars of Banshees of Little Miami, Lindsey Brewer on the outside and Francesco Draconi, the rookie, on the inside, just outside the top 10 in his first qualifying effort. Best of the Banshees, so not too bad for a rookie showing. Stingray Rob already looking better than last season. He's going to be starting row 5 on the outside in that Magenta Trees Honda, with Ethan Martz on his inside, also already looking better than last season. Qualified last many a times, so starting ninth is a good sign for him. As we move to row 4, we have Dorian Pin now taking over for 43 with a decent qualifying effort, however, slowest of the swindlers. Now Robbie Lohr now moves to the 18 aggressive Bs in that number 18 car. Nice to see him back. He hasn't tested yet this season, but looks good in qualifying. Row 3, two of your guys to look out for championship-wise. Shane Van Gisbergen, two-time champ, going to be on the outside in 6th, and then Connor Zilic on the inside, going to be starting 5th in that Viking Racing Mercedes. Row 2, it's two Swindlers cars. Louis Foster returns for a second season with the Swindlers, and then Justin Allgaier, your highest qualifying uh, rookie. If you'll notice, they have the exact same speed. So does Chet Jordan, who's going to be on the outside in row 1. That tie was broken by whoever had the fastest single lap, and that would be Chet Jordan, followed by Allgaier and Foster, but shows you how close they are. But Marcus Armstrong, in a league of his own in qualifying, already has the championship lead with one single bonus point to his name. He's going to be one to look out for, but is continuing what he had at the end of the season. Silly Men Racing lock out the front row in their Mercedes. A little bit of race info. We're racing in Brooklyn, Michigan at Michigan International Speedway. It's a 2-mile track. You can see D-shaped, 4 turns, 75 laps for 150 miles. Sim time early in the season, March 8th at 2 p.m. No returning winners for this race, so whoever wins today, it's going to be someone brand new that we haven't seen win at Michigan, but that is your starting grid. The starting grid once again cycling on the top of the screen. Let's take a quick look at your weather in the pop-out window. Gonna be at 94 degrees track temp. Not gonna be too far off what we saw at Auto Club. But Auto Club was at night, this is in the day, so tire wear gonna be a little bit more of an issue. And yes, it will say 78 laps, but it is 75 laps under actual racing conditions. So keep that in mind. 27 cars. This is the largest field that we've ever seen. As we have some cars giving up their qualifying spot for a little boost of fuel. This is something that you're allowed to do. Peterson, Hulkenberg, Malukas, and Rowe have given up their qualifying spots. Bold strategy, but you can cut through the field easily, but you have to be aware of the big one. It can strike whenever, however, can be anywhere in the field, could be near the front, could be near the back. So a couple cars have forfeited their qualifying positions, but it still looks like it's going to be a pretty solid one stop to the end of the race. So 27 cars, largest field we've seen, looking at 150 miles. It's going to be fast, it's going to be close. It's going to be clinging onto whatever you can. We often disassociate the first race from the rest of the season as it's only one single result, but one single point here could mean the difference at the end of the season. One position, one spin is all it takes to cost you. It's Marcus Armstrong and Chet Jordan, Silly Men Racing, lock out the front row, Swindlers of the Immortals right behind. Pace car will pull off. Hasn't been too long of an off season, but it has felt like an eternity as we are green here in Michigan. Justin Allgaier already gets a good jump. He is up to second. This is a rookie brand new to the series, but here comes Connor Zilic already looking at the lead. 3 wide, Chet Jordan all the way down to the inside. Bold move as he is going to lead the very first lap of this new season. They are single file right behind him. Man, it is quite tight. Look at that. 27 cars, there's not much room to go. If a big crash happens, it's going to be a scramble. Connor Zilic is now up to the front, but Chet Jordan still leads on that inside. 4 wide back there. And the whole field is pretty much stacked on top of each other. Here comes Ethan Martz in the 76 for Team Eggs. A difficult season last time around, but he is showing that he belongs in the series. But Chet Jordan going to go back to the front. Man, they're going 4 wide behind back here. Look at this. It is just a swarm. Ryan Priest deep in the field. He's trying to cut forward. David Malukas, he's got Glubler Lord right behind him. Dorian Pinn now on the bottom as rookie Francesco Draconi. We know the Banshees of Little Miami are good on tracks like this. They're a renowned super speedway team. And Draconi getting a little taste of what it's like early on. Marcus Armstrong still hasn't led a lap even though he had the pole. But Dorian Pinn going to get to the line first that time. We have a little bit of a separation in the pack. A couple cars off the back. Benjamin Peterson, one of the cars that forfeited his position. As here comes Marcus Armstrong to the lead. Connor Zilic on the outside. And Ethan Martz right in the middle. Very aggressive. This is a race where cars that may not have a lot of speed can do well. It's a little bit of a wild card as Marcus Armstrong does finally lead a lap under green. As Draconi goes to the front, rookie leads here in Michigan. Crash! Big crash! Marcus Armstrong is in it, many cars involved. It's like Texas all over again. A big crash, Ryan Preece on his lid, Lawless Allen, Benjamin Peterson, Ethan Martz, and that is going to thin the field already. Many cars involved. I said be careful of the big one. We got a few laps under green, but man, when it strikes, it strikes. Let's try to see what happened here. 33 of Marcus Armstrong. You gotta watch for this guy. So all the way up on the high side, Ethan Martz, he's gonna get a big run on the inside. Man, this is not what the Silly Men Racing wanted to see with one fast car already in trouble. Ethan Martz just keeps coming up. And this has happened to Armstrong before. Mart's gonna go for a spin, then you have to stack up. Shane Van Gisbergen right in the middle of it. Peterson, I believe that is McStinkle, Preece, Glubler, Lawless Allen getting tossed around. Shane Van Gisbergen right in the middle of it as we have pit stops early on here. But man, that took out a whole bunch of cars and a lot of cars on pit road. That's about as big as you see here. Single file restarts in this season. 10 cars do not have to pit for any sort of repairs. There's a couple cars, Dorian Pinn, Shane Van Gisbergen, Robbie Lohr, Nico Hulkenberg, and Connor Zilic that got a little bit of it. It's a shame. Van Gisbergen is repaired. He is going back out. He'll be on the lead lap. But we're gonna have to see if that number one car can get back up to speed. These cars very fragile. Doesn't take a lot of contact to put them into severe trouble, but that one looks like he's getting up to speed relatively safely. But yeah, this is exactly what we saw at Texas to open last season. It's brutal, but it's what happens when you have racing this close. Dorian Pinn has exited the pit. He will be on the lead lap. Robbie and Zilic still on pit lane. So is Hulkenberg. So they're going to go a lap down. Lucas, Allen, Peterson, Preece, Foster, Armstrong, Martz, Allgaier, McStinkle, Tenzin, all involved. Miles Rowe as well. Glubler Lohr. A couple cars towing to pit lane now. So the pit lane is starting to file up. Luckily, you can get back on the lead lap with the lucky dog, but it's going to be quite the struggle. Going to have a couple cars off the pace here. Looks like we will be going green this time. Francesco Draconi in the lead. There were a couple cars that towed that I don't think they really needed to, and should be fine getting back up to speed. Miles Rowe exiting the pits with Louis Foster right behind. Foster was actually a car that flew, so I'm kind of surprised he's able to leave. We get ready to go back green. Francesco Draconi, his first ever restart. He is going to be leading us back to green. As here we go, we are green once again here at Michigan. The field has thinned to nearly half of what we had. Chet Jordan in second right behind. And he's already going to go for the lead. This 24, we know he's good on the ovals, and he wants to show it once again. Now that we've had a restart, the field might be a little more spread out, because it is single file. They're going to be less clumped together. Chet Jordan followed by Guy Gagné, and then it is Francesco Draconi. But the top five have already found each other. Robbie Lord did get back out on track. He is 2 laps down. As Guy Gagné to the front. Viking Racing actually got pretty solid break out of it. 3 cars survived. And Brennan Hubbard 27th to 2nd. All he had to do was just survive the big one. And his race has changed. Shane Van Gisbergen back in the second group. It's going to be interesting to see how many of these guys are actually interested in moving forward at this point after what just happened. 3 wide. Francesco Draconi back to the front. But these super speedways prone to giving surprise winners, as oh man, they are packing up once again. Here comes Siegel to the inside, but Draconi is going to block it off. DeFrancesco all the way to the bottom. He has a good history here. Well, not here at Michigan, but at Auto Club, the sister track. Ryan Preece exiting the pits. That's good for him. Trying to earn some points. All is not lost, but he is many laps down. Nolan Siegel on the inside. Siegel's going to get to the front. Nolan Siegel is a winner in this series. He won at Watkins Glen back in Season 2. DeFrancesco, not a winner. He hasn't raced since Season 1, so he is quite eager to get to the front. Chet Jordan kind of sinking in the middle of the pack. Shane Van Gisbergen hanging on the outside. As Nolan Siegel going to get to the line. He looks pretty solid up here at the front, but here comes Lindsay Brewer. 2 wins in her career. Has not won on one of these 2-milers, but has won at Indy. Gawa Tenzin leads the pits, so he's still in it. Only car that looks definitive, well, Armstrong and McStinkle look definitively out of the race. Tough break for Armstrong. That car definitely had some speed in it that wasn't able to be shown. You can see on the track map where the other cars that have come out of the pits are, as look at Shane Van Gisbergen, Mahavir Raghunathan in the lead. Unlikely place to see him based off last season, but he looks quite solid. We go to the blimp and you can see that green car of Raghunathan leading. Team Canada Dry has never won a race. Never even finished in the top 5, as Van Gisbergen, bold move on the inside. His teammate Justin Allgaier just left the pits as they are jockeying for position. We got 12 cars on the lead lap. Dorian Pinn seems to be a little bit off the pace. It might be one of the first cars that get lapped, along with Ryan Preece. But Preece is already multiple laps down, so it seems like 11 cars are still functional. As Guy Gagné gets to the front, Lindsay Brewer right behind. As Chet Jordan's starting to cycle back to the front, you see him second on the inside. The outside does get the momentum off the turns. Man, this is one sketchy pack. But this is the perfect opportunity for some of these guys to get their season started on the right foot, as Connor Zilich will be leaving the pits. As here comes Brennan Hubbard to the inside. 27th to 1st would be nothing to scoff at for that 99 team. As Viking Racing 1, 2, 3 right now. Qualifying did not go well for the team, but they do have some race cars hooked up. Right now in the lucky dog position to get a lap back would be Louis Foster, who's actually in this group. Miles Rowe also in this group. That's the guy, that's really the battle to try to get back on the lead lap. Robbie also 2 laps down, but he is kind of on his own island as they are coming up on the first lap car. 64 of Ryan Preece running in 17th. Jane Van Gisbergen and Chet Jordan, line leaders, but where are they going to go? And Chet Jordan's the one that's going to get hosed. He's going to get stuck behind as the 64 will not get out of his way. And there's nowhere for him to go, and he is going to be the big loser. He's going to need some good fortune to get back into this thing, because he has lost 2 seconds. Guy Gagne, also a winner in the series. Top 4 have all won before. Francesco Draconi, first car that hasn't. Mahavir Raghunathan, he's actually quite good here at Michigan. First ever top 5 in his first ever race. In the first ever race. Chet Jordan 2.2 seconds back. We're going to have to see if he can try to gain some time. But right now he would have to be burning a lot of fuel. But doesn't seem to be losing ground right now as Draconi back to the lead. This 49 car looks quite good. This would be a severe underdog win. The Chet Jordan kind of hoping for a yellow to get back in it as Louis Foster just got put into the wall by DeFrancesco. Hasn't seemed to lose a lot, but that's not a position you'd want to be in, as Raghunathan back to the lead. Team Canada, whoa, hold on to it. A little squirrely coming off turn 4. Team Canada Dry, no wins. Mahavir Raghunathan, only 1 win. Came at Phillip Island, as he's actually pulling a pretty decent gap on these guys. Miles Rowe is in second, but he is not on the lead lap, but he is in the lucky dog position. Now, if he can get to the front of this group and then a yellow happens, he'd not only get 1 lap back, he'd get 2, basically. As they are coming up on Dorian Pin, which is not what Miles Rowe or Louis Foster would want to see, because then she would be in the lucky dog position, which for Dorian Pin is exactly why you keep your foot in it and keep trying. This is a pretty slow moving pack of 4 cars, and this could really jumble things up. If they are too wide, that could be a huge traffic jam, and it's really going to come down to who can maneuver through them the best. Guy Gagne leader on the inside. We're coming up on those lapped cars. Let's take a look from the blip. You're going to be able to see them. Maybe not. I lied. But roll bar, let's see what Guy Gagne is going to do when they catch up. Yellow flag, actually, and it's the 54 of Mahavir Raghunathan. That is what Miles Rowe wanted to see, and that is Nolan Siegel involved as well. 2 cars in the wall. And they were at the back of the group. Both cars looked quite quick. Raghunathan does exactly what Ethan Martz does. Come up the track. Chet Jordan barely gets through. Let's watch onboard to see if he knew he was clear or rather wasn't clear. Look at Stingray Rob with that big run, but man, just pitched straight into the wall. Chet Jordan, let's see what he saw. Just barely squeaking through. So he's gonna be all the way back here. You see Mahavir Raghunathan. Nolan Siegel has a little bit of a run. That yellow car all the way on the high side, and he's gonna pitch him into the wall. That was a little too close. A little close for comfort. So this is when we would expect everyone to pit. So that is our second yellow of the day. More cars taken out. Everyone pitting. This is perfectly in the window. Around right in the middle of the race. Right here at this camera, we're going to be able to see who gets off pit road first. And it's going to be Guy Gagne. Guy Gagne wins the race off pit road. So Guy Gagne followed by Alessio Deletta, Shane Van Gisbergen, Brendan Hubbard a little bit of a slow stop. He's going to drop to 5th. 10 cars remain on the lead lap. Chet Jordan had a long stop. I believe it was only 10 cars that finished on the lead lap at Texas last season, the season opener. Lubler came back out on track, but he is all the way down in 21st, 22 laps behind. Rough way to start the season for a lot of guys. But there's not much that you can do except get to work on these upcoming races. Up next, we go to first road course of the season, the Motegi road course. First time that we would have ever raced there. The 1 lap to green. A little bit over halfway. And only 10 cars remain on the lead lap. So let's get ready to go back green. 10 cars on the lead lap. I'd say there's really only 13 cars really still in this race. Everyone beyond Robbie is many, many laps down. Let's get ready to go. Guy Gagne brings us back to green. lapped car in between Gagne and Alessio Deletta. That is the 10 of Louis Foster. Shane Van Gisbergen back in third. As Foster's going to go to the inside. He's trying to unlap himself just in case a yellow flag does come out. He wouldn't be getting the lucky dog treatment, as here comes Shane Van Gisbergen around Alessio Deletta, and is now going to be right behind his teammate Louis Foster. But Deletta is going to get to the inside and get by. His top three have kind of broken away. Stingray Rob in fourth, a little ways behind. But these guys are not cooperating, and that is going to help them. So 1.3 seconds they've pulled out on everyone else. Stingray Rob, is this group cooperating or not? No, they aren't. Rob and Draconi lead this group. As Shane Van Gisbergen has gotten to the lead. He can start with a win. That'd be a pretty big sign to everyone else that this guy's going to be a problem once again. But Deleta's going to go back to the front on the inside. Guy Gagne back there in third. 1.3 seconds, still the gap. This group behind. But it is closing in. Brendan Hubbard, a fast car. And he's going to try to bring him back. Chet Jordan did not have a good restart. I believe he got stuck behind Dorian Pinn, who is quite slow. Guy Gagne all the way on the inside. As this group has caught up. Gagne, your leader. Alessio Deletta follows on the outside as he's going to dive to the inside. He's going to take the lead. The 87 of Alessio Deletta up to the front. As a little bit of the gap is being built to the cars behind, but they, with the power of the draft, going to close right back in as if nothing happened, as Alessio Deletta still chasing down Guy Gagne. Your leader, Louis Foster, really getting involved. Desperately wants his lap back. They'll already be coming up on slow cars soon. 64 of Ryan Preece. Oh, someone is very slow. I believe that is the... Who is that? That is the 76 of Ethan Martz, who is quite slow. And that is going to cause many issues with this big pack of cars closing in. Where do you go? What can you do? And that is going to be a crash anyways. And that was, I believe, Alessio Deletta. Shane Van Gisbergen going to get through. Deletta and DeFrancesco crash out. Whoa, hold on. Let's get to the turn. Oh, my bad, guys. What am I doing? So, Alessio Deletta currently all by his lonesome at the bottom of the track. Peterson's gonna be coming out of pit lane. And is Deletta gonna do the same thing? Yes, he will. Gonna check him into the wall. Shane Van Gisbergen sees us in front of him. It's going to... He may have gotten through, and then Justin Allgaier are gonna know where to go as his second incident of the day. But man, more cars torn up. It's a battle of attrition, and some guys aren't winning. Man, DeFrancesco, nowhere he could go. As let's actually see Shane Van Gisbergen, because he had quite the view. Man, how did he get through that? That is exactly why he is a two-time champion. Just squeezes on through. That is going to put Miles Rowe back on the lead lap in the 37 car. Robbie's only going to be one lap down. I don't know if he got a lap back or what, but yeah, I think he got a lap back. So we might have been leading the group. Good job to that number 18 team. Ovals have been an issue for them last season. So for them to do what they have been doing is quite remarkable. That is 3 yellows now. We as race control cannot pull the slow cars off the track because they're still battling for position, so we can't. Alessio Deletta is going to be back in pit lane. They're going to try and fix him and go back out. Man, we're going to be going green with about 30 to go, but only 8 cars remain on the lead lap, and only really 7 of them have pace. Lindsey Brewer, Brendan Hubbard, Francesco Draconi, Stingray Robb, Shane Van Gisbergen, Guy Gagne, Chet Jordan, Dorian Pinn's going to be in 8th. For some reason, Miles Rowe is not getting his lap back. Not quite sure what that's about. As green flag is back out, Lindsey Brewer going to lead us back to green. Brendan Hubbard in 2nd. Rookie Francesco Draconi in 3rd. A lot of your rookies having rough days today. But he has been doing quite well as Brendan Hubbard to the inside. He's going to get back to the lead. Do not count out this 99. 27th to 1st. And looking for more. Francesco Draconi. Oh, gets a little bit into the wall. Stingray Robb now up to 2nd. Only 1 win in his career. He does have a pole here at Michigan before. and has won on an oval at Rockingham at the start of Season 3. This Honda-powered car looks, honestly, out of the cars still in, has been the quietest, but is chugging along. Top 4 have all linked up, plus Louis Foster. Shane Van Gisbergen is a little farther back. 2 seconds back. He is currently behind, I believe that is Dawa Tenzin. He's 2.2 seconds back. DeFrancesco is out of the race, confirmed, so we will not be seeing him back on track again. And Allgaier, Raghunathan, Siegel are also confirmed to be out. So a couple guys still looking to move forward. Stingray Robb in second. Brennan Hubbard, your leader. As Lindsey Brewer all the way to the inside. Guy Gagné, Shane Van Gisbergen a little ways back. Chet Jordan hasn't restarted near the front of the field yet, and that's really been hurting him. As Louis Foster trying to get a lap back. That 10 car, it's fast, but is in a predicament. Field is the most spread out it's been, but they're still coming up on some lapped cars. Ryan Preece and Glubler Lore not far up the road. Preece, despite being in that early incident, he's been chugging along and picking up spots. He is up to 13th as it stands. And you know, when you have these big accidents, it's quite easy to just call it quits. But there is always positions to be gained. That's why you see a lot of these cars still out here. Draconi, your leader, 25 to go. As Banshees of Little Miami first and second, but here we come up on the lap traffic. Draconi, they're going to fan out right in front of the leaders. Who's going to get through? Lindsey Brewer gets chopped. This is going to bring in guys like Guy Gagné and Chad Jordan. Lindsey Brewer on the inside. With Brennan Hubbard, who's going to get chopped by Benjamin Peterson. So Brewer is going to get away. Oh, and that's going to be a crash. Benjamin Peterson runs into Brennan Hubbard, and that is going to take out him and David Malukas again. Man, trying to interfere with the leaders. The 99 had such a run, and I have no idea what the 29 was doing. That was kind of disgusting. Right in front of Ryan Preece, who barely gets through. These cars were running 24th and 23rd. There was no reason to be battling like that. That is going to be a 4th yellow. Go on board with the 29. Man. Just not smart driving. The 04 is going to be taken out again. Lindsey Brewer nearly basically had the race in her hand. But she's going to have a couple cars to act as a buffer on this restart. Stingray Robb is in second. Glubler in not second. He is down in 18th, 23 laps down. Where is the 37? He's coming through. Now the leaders are starting to cycle to the front. Miles Rowe going to be back on the lead lap, so now 9 cars on the lead lap. So 21 laps to go. Lights on the pace car are out, so we're going to have 20 laps to try to end this thing. Many lapped cars still on track, trying to get positions, and they have been acting like landmines all of today. That last yellow was no exception. It's actually the cause. Somehow this 99 car looks virtually unharmed, still running in third. Stingray Rob, could it be a first win in nearly 2 seasons? Will Lindsey Brewer get another super speedway victory? Will Brennan Hubbard make it 2 straight? Can Draconi win on his debut? That 49 has looked quite quick. The 47 looks hooked up. The 99 you can't count out. And then Chet Jordan, Shane Van Gisbergen really going to be back in this. Haven't really been able to be in it. 9 cars on the lead lap. As let's get ready to go. 20 laps to go. And green flag. Lindsey Brewer going to lead us back to green once again. Stingray Rob with a big jump. And he's going to get to the inside here. And Stingray Rob is going to get to the lead here at Michigan. This would be a big result if he can pull off a victory here today. But it's going to take a lot. He's got a hungry pack of cars behind him. 5 cars have connected. Chet Jordan a little bit back. Shane Van Gisbergen may have a little bit of damage from that one incident, because he doesn't seem to have the same pace as he did earlier. So at this point, he's probably just trying to hang on to the end. As here comes Francesco Draconi on the inside and is going to take the lead. Banshees of Little Miami have had cars win in their first race. Benjamin Peterson at Spa in Season 3, but now it's Banshees that lead 1-2. As Chet Jordan has come back. Louis Foster still not on the lead lap, unfortunately. He is down in 11th. As Chet Jordan, big run. He is going to get to the lead with Louis Foster right behind. Went from 6th to 1st in one straightaway. That is quite incredible. As here comes Guy Gagné on the outside. Not able to get there. $17 to go. Can Chet Jordan pull this off? He has won at Auto Club before and led the most laps at Michigan back in Season 1. Known for being good at the ovals, but hasn't shown it last season. But what does he have? Guy Gagné leads that lap. Chet Jordan going to come back to the inside. 16 to go. A while till we meet lap traffic, about half a lap. but they're going to come sooner than you would expect, as Lawless Allen has left pit lane. There's going to be another car out there as Louis Foster leads at the line, but is 2 laps down, trying to get just 1 lap down. But it'd be a long shot to get him back on the lead lap, but he is allowed to fight up here. Chet Jordan going to go to the inside, and he is back to the front. Big run as Louis Foster got into the wall a little bit and checked up that high side. Brendan Hubbard and Stingray Robb right behind. Chet Jordan in first. Started on the outside of row 1. You really want to be on the inside when the lap cars come, because that is going to be the easiest way to get through. As Stingray Robb's going to go to the lead. You definitely want to be in the lead when you get him, because the lead will give you the most options on where you are able to go. $13 to go. Probably going to catch him, if I had to guess, backstretch next lap. Actually could be front stretch with how they're catching. Guy Gagné now comes to the inside. That's quite big. You want to have that freedom, as they're going to reach him. Coming off this turn, here they are. As they're going to get to him right before the turn, and who's going to get through? Chet Jordan's on the inside. Stingray Robb on the outside. He is clear, and he is going to get away with Brendan Hubbard. Those two get to the lead. Guy Gagné on the inside with Chet Jordan, but they are not able to get through as neatly, as it is these two that get out ahead, as a lot of cars just got hosed. 2 seconds back. It's now a battle between these two. Stingray Robb has not won in a very long time. Brendan Hubbard, 27th to 1st. What a story would it be for both of these guys if they are able to pull it off. Right now, Hubbard drafting Stingray. 2.6 seconds to Francesco Draconi. He got through, as only now Guy Gagné is getting through. Lindsey Brewer and Chet Jordan still in it. And these two are actually cooperating. Brendan Hubbard not making many moves, and is currently willing to just sit behind and get the draft. Teamwork from non-teammates with 10 to go. This is quite smart of them, as Chet Jordan has just got through. So the top 6 have gotten through that pack, but they're already coming up on a lap car soon. Once again, the 92 of Lawless Allen. 92 is quite slow. Here comes Brendan Hubbard, but they're both going to get through nicely. That 92 very slow and off the pace, but it is clean track up ahead until you get to the 18 of Robbie Lohr, 1 lap down in 10th. So Draconi 3 seconds back. Then you go to about 4.7 with Guy Gagné, Louis Foster, and Lindsey Brewer. Chet Jordan 7.2 back, and then 14 back to Miles Rowe, and then Shane Van Gisbergen definitely a little wounded. That accident where it looked like he got through, I think his wing got clipped just a little bit, and Dorian Pinn also suffered. And that is something to think about with Brendan Hubbard. Does he have the juice? He got hit on that last yellow, and is that making him not able to get by? He looks like he can get out of line, but he loses ground. So it's going to have to be perfectly timed from him. The outside is where you want to be in the turns when you catch the lap cars. The inside is where you want to be on the straights. as Guy Gagné has found traffic once again with Lawless Allen, but Chet Jordan's going to get stuck behind once again. For some reason, Guy Gagné is not accelerating. It might be a little dumb. We're not saying our drivers are the smartest, because at times they definitely aren't, but that's a little dumb. Brendan Hubbard, he's going to pop to the high side. He is getting a little racier now. As they are going to be coming up on that big group of traffic again very soon. And this group is big. It's where Miles Rowe is, Ryan Preece, Shane Van Gisbergen, Glubler, Dorian Pinn. 4 to go. Will they get to him? And if so, how can they get around him? They're clear to Francesco Draconi, 3.5 seconds. Stingray Rob did not finish in the leader circle last season, and that really hurt for the team. If he can pull off a win here, it would be monumental. The Magenta Trees have not gone to victory lane in a while. Stingray Rob, even longer since he's been in victory lane. And we know he's good here at Michigan. 2 to go as they are about to reach the lap traffic. Who is going to be able to get through? And the 43 is going to come up right in front. Stingray Rob's going to hang on the outside. Brendan Hubbard, he's going to try and go to the inside. Which way is the correct way? But Stingray Rob is going to cover off the 99. Brendan Hubbard seems to be struggling on his own. As here we come to the white flag. Francesco Draconi not out of it. 1.3 seconds back. He is gaining significantly. Can Draconi, the rookie, get it done? He's going to have a run, and he's going to go to the inside. Stingray Rob going to move up high. But Dorian Pinn is there. As Draconi gets to the lead, the rookie in his first start is going to steal one from Stingray Rob as he wins at Michigan. Stingray Rob struggled in the traffic, and that is going to give the win to the rookie in his debut start, Francesco Draconi. What a race that was. Only 6 cars on the lead lap. Chet Jordan got held up by Lawless Allen pretty bad. As let's look at your final results. Francesco Draconi gets the win in a chaotic race at Michigan. And Stingray Rob will just barely miss out and finish second. Brendan Hubbard, 27th to 3rd. What a run it was for him today. Lindsey Brewer will finish in 4th. Guy Gagné will take 5th. And Chet Jordan, the last car of the lead lap, will be in 6th. Miles Rowe will be down in 7th. First car lap down. Dorian Pinn in 8th. Shane Van Gisbergen, your reigning champion, 9th. And then Robbie Lord will round out your top 10, finishing in 10th. Louis Foster will come home 11th. Nico Hulkenberg will be in 12th in his debut. Dawa Tenzin will finish 13th, one of his better results. Ryan Preece 14th. Connor Zilich 15th, not where he wanted to be. Glubler Lauren 16th. Ethan March had the fast car but wrecked. He'll finish 17th. Alessio Deletta 18th. Devlin DeFrancesco 19th, not the debut that Justin Allgaier wanted, in 20th. Mahavir Raghunathan in 21st, Nolan Siegel 22nd, Lawless Allen 23rd, David Malukas 24th, Benjamin Peterson 25th, and then tough break for Marcus Armstrong. He's going to finish down in 26th, and Tinkle McStinkle will round out the field, finishing in 27th. A Chaotic race to open the season here at Michigan. A lot of things to be discussed. Francesco Draconi in his debut will take the victory. Stingray Rob Heartbreak, as he will come up second. Brennan Hubbard will come home in third. Well, that is it here from Michigan. Up next, we go to Twin Ring Motegi in Japan, as we're going to hit the road course and then the oval next weekend. But on Wednesday will be the race for the road course, and then Tuesday will be qualifying. And I hope to see you guys there. It's going to be a fun one. And I'll see you next time.